Hey, what's up, everybody? This is AJ Williams, owner and operator of Dive Media, short for Divinimous Media. Dive Media started about 2 years ago, just from a desire to want to convey um, a mature perspective on things. We saw a lot of things going on, whether it was the police shootings or the election or Black Lives Matter, Me Too, just all these things going on. We wanted to really make sure that the mature perspective was being conveyed. So rather than just blabbing about stuff on social media, um, my wife and I, worked to start a media company, and so Dive Media was born. And right now we run a couple podcasts, have a YouTube channel, just started shooting some videos on YouTube. So we're doing a couple things with a lot more things to come in the future. Why am I choosing to do podcasting at this time? Because, well, for one, it's a lot less time consuming than doing videos. But also, we wanted to do something that was current. Writing a blog, I think, is a little passe. Not There are not a lot of people writing blogs anymore. So I wanted to make sure that it was something that was current, but also something that could just fit within our time constraints. I still work a full time job, and so running a media company and making sure that you have a lot of content is very time consuming. So podcasting felt like a good median point for that. How long did it take me before we started recording podcasts? It took at least 6 months. I started to do a lot of research because I actually was not familiar with podcasting. So what I did was doing a lot of research on how to start a podcast, how to launch one, you know, and what it takes to run a podcast. So I did a lot of research, and a lot of the things I was reading said before you want to start a podcast, don't, and start to listen to podcasts. So I spent several months just listening to podcasts. Um, Begin to take note of the things I liked, the things I did not like, things I wanted to do, things I didn't want to do. And then from there, it was okay, now that I sort of have my framework of podcasting in general, started to just really figure out, all right, what was going to be the title of our podcast when we did the first one, what direction we want to go, how many co-hosts do we want. So we cycled through a few co-hosts. Shout out to my co-hosts. And yeah, that's pretty much all it took from there. So I'd say from the moment of conception to when the actual first podcast was recorded was about 6 or 7 months. Yeah, sure. So currently we have a couple podcasts that we are running right now. One is titled Across the Intersection, and the other one is titled House to House, available on all platforms. Um, and we do have a couple of additional podcasts that we'll be launching later on this year. As far as a service for other people, I have tossed around that idea, and I think I do plan on offering that to people who just have an idea, but maybe don't have the infrastructure to run a podcast. I thought about offering that as a service to people who might be willing to start a podcast. So that should be something that we may look into over the next year or so. Yeah, podcasting is really a great. I mean, well, media consumption in general obviously has increased with the internet and all of things like that. So podcasting in general is something that's still on the incline, and so it's always good to get into something before it's oversaturated. Um, like any other media platform, podcasting can become oversaturated. So I would suggest to anybody who wants to get into media in general, do your research, find out what is most effective at the moment that you are planning on getting into it. And don't be afraid to reach out to other people who are doing things that you want to do. Um, I think the mentality of the Lone Ranger is a fallacy. I think you have to work as a collective to be able to accomplish things. But at the end of the day, you have to be working hard to make sure that your vision comes to pass. So please check us out on www.divemedia.co. That is Dive, Divemedia, divemedia.co. You can get at us on social media. We're on Twitter at Divenomous, Divenomous, and we're on the gram at dive_media. So please holler at us. We love to connect with people.